and thus fall within its oversight role. The committee observed that county governments are in geographical proximity to each other, have pulled together to establish county regional blocks. The committee further observed that some counties belonged to more than one block, whereas others belonged to none. The committee resolved to consider the matter of blocks and wrote to the Council of Governors on the following. 1, the number of established economic blocks, their membership, their legal status, and the policy framework behind their establishment. 2, the functions of the regional blocks, their sources of funding, and the projects undertaken by each block. 3, the list of projects initiated by the regional economic blocks, their status, and the amount of funds allocated to each project. The Council of Governors have responded and submitted that there are 7 established regional blocks with the full-fledged secretariat. There are insufficient legal and policy framework to promote regional economic integration between county governments. 3, a draft national policy on the establishment of the regional economic blocks by county government was awaiting cabinet approval. 4, some counties such as Tana River, Lamu, Trans Nzoia, Turkana were members of more than one block, while Nairobi County was not a member of any block. Mr. Speaker, further, the committee observed that the regional blocks were receiving funds from member counties and donor partners, but were not being audited by the Office of the Auditor General. Yet there existed no other available alternative for their oversight. This has resulted in the regional economic blocks operating without checks and balances. The committee resolved to write to the respective chief executive officers of regional economic blocks seeking clarification on the following: when each block was formed, the status of approval of the county assembly of the respective counties forming and joining the regional economic blocks. 3, information on their budgets, activities they have undertaken, finances they have received so far from member counties and from donors, a list of development partners engaged by each block, and the amount received from donors since establishment. And then lastly, information on how the blocks have accounted for the funds received. Mr. Speaker, this is a serious matter because these blocks continue to operate without any legal mechanism in place, and they continue receiving money which are not audited by the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, the committee is also scheduled to have a meeting with the regional economic blocks and to conduct familiarization visit to some of these blocks. Honorable Speaker, the committee is slated to conduct its work planning induction retreat in February and aims at engaging the stakeholder. The committee also plans to conduct fact-finding mission to various counties, prioritize given investment that are facing huge fiduciary risks. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I submit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority.
Mr. Speaker, that's a very good report presented by the chair, and I appreciate the work that him and his committee have done, but I just have one little comment, that at this time, Mr. Speaker, at the beginning of a term of parliament, when you are doing such reports, I wish to encourage committee chairpersons to not only lay the problem statement, but go further and propose legislative solutions to the problems that they have raised, Mr. Speaker. Because this is a legislative body, there is no other institution that we are looking up to to solve many of the challenges, enacting Council of Governors into an Act of Parliament, CAF, which is County Assembly Forums, the various regional bodies such as the ones that you pointed out to, as part of your report. And this is a thing that I say to the rest of the chairmen as